So apparently Genshin is getting sued. Actually getting sued. And they have to actually pay fine for this. Now why are they getting sued? Deceiving children. The kids are involved. Teens, the kids. And other players, which is basically the kids, okay? If they're adults, who cares? Deceiving children, teens, and other players into spending hundreds of dollars on prizes they stood little chance of winning. The FTC, which is I think Federal Trade Commission from the United States. So, what is happening here, right? This is quite a big one, quite a big impact right now. Don't they literally list all the odds? It doesn't matter, right? As long as all the parents think it's unfair, it's unfair, alright? Always protect kids. So I want you guys to know that why some gacha need to be censored is because of the kids. I want you guys to know why most gacha games like Arknight's Anfield and Wuthering Wave are lacking in fan service is because of the kids, okay? Now you can be mad at it as how much you want, but kids are important. Okay, kids are important for the ecosystem because kids play games and kids, whether you like it or not, are here in the space with all the games that you play. So kids are all around us. So everything is going to be revolved around kids. It doesn't matter what you think if this is fair or not fair, as long as a lot of parents deem that the government should be protecting their kids, their children. This is what it is, right? FTC says Genshin Impact deceived children and orders its publisher to pay a 20 million fine and stop selling loot boxes to kids. Okay. All gacha needs to be sued. I do agree that this is not okay, why does all gacha why Genshin getting sued but not all the other gacha? Simple, right? Because Genshin is the one that's making the most money. Right? Genshin is probably the most famous out of all of these. Okay, so Genshin Impact publisher Cognosphere, another name for Hoyoverse, has agreed. They agreed to pay a fine $20 million and will block children under the age of 16 from making in-game purchases without parental consent in settlement with the United States Federal Trade Commission over allegations that it violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. So this thing has been here to protect kids, right? So if you guys are not aware, COPPA is something that YouTube also has to comply to that as well, right? So because whenever kids use the internet, they need to be protected. So kids need to be protected whether you like it or not. Now I know a lot of you guys are going to say, oh, well, isn't it the parents' job, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter, all right? Trust me, as someone that has been, I think this is ridiculous, all right? As someone that has been like trying to blame everyone else except for the parents, in my opinion, is the most ridiculous thing ever, but it doesn't matter. Because there's so many parents that think that way, it doesn't matter. Does it make sense? Like, there's just too many bad parents around. So it doesn't matter what you think is the right thing. Sometimes the wrong thing is going to be applied because that's just what it is, right? So it's a bit annoying. Kids in Genshin are going to be banned. Yeah, that's just what it is, right? That's just what it is. You can't expect parents to monitor kids, so here we are. Alright. Again, other users about the real cost of in-game transactions and odds of obtaining rare prizes. I feel like all the things are mentioned there clearly. Okay, maybe it's not super clearly. There are like 2 currency, right? You can buy Genesis crystals, convert to Primo gems or whatever. Sure, that part is a little bit annoying for sure. But other than that, it's just what it is, right? Although Cognosphere has accepted the fine, it says that many of the FTC's allegations are inaccurate. Okay, so a lot of people try to... So if it's not... Then they shouldn't have accepted the fine though, right? If it's inaccurate. Every gacha will be rated 16 plus and up. A complaint filed by the US Department of Justice alleged that Cognosphere operated as Hoyoverse in the United States actively marketed Genshin Impact to children and collected personal information from them in violation of COPPA rules. Deceived players about the odds. 50? Huh? And cost of winning prizes in loot boxes. And uses a challenging and confusing purchasing system that misleads consumers about the amount of money that players spend on loot boxes on an ongoing basis, and the amount of money that players would likely need to spend to obtain certain prizes. Wow. Every gacha should be 18 plus. I don't know if every gacha should be 18 plus or not. But I do think that if you are a kid who are 14 or 15 years old, you probably don't have money. So they probably buy it from using their parents' credit card and stuff. And at that point, it's probably their parents' fault, right? Genshin Impact deceived children, teens, and other players into spending hundreds of dollars on prizes. Okay. Said Samuel Levin, director of FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. Companies that deploy these dark pattern tactics will be held accountable if they deceive players, particularly kids and teens, about the true cost of in-game transactions. So I think what they're trying to say is because they are two separate currency, right? Why don't they go for Honkai Star Rail 2? Because going for Genshin will make other companies scared. Dark patterns, also called dark design, is a term for elements of a UI. They are purposely designed to be deceptive, typically with the goal of tricking these innocent kids into doing things unintentionally. For example, buying stuff using their mom's credit card mostly is a growing concern in the video game industry. In 2022, Epic Games, Fortnite, everybody's favorite, reached a 520 million settlement with the FTC over a complaint that included allegations of dark pattern in Fortnite. Everybody here plays Fortnite, right? Okay. Attorney Eric Weiss told PC Gamer in 2024 that game makers should accidentally careful with their designs because of increasing FTC vigilance. But dark patterns are out there in the wider world too. In 2023, for instance, the FTC filed a complaint against Amazon for using manipulative, coercive, deceptive user interface designs known as dark patterns to trick consumers into signing up for automatically renewing Prime memberships. Amazon Prime memberships. Wow. This is true for every single AAA live service today. I think you're right. It's probably true for a lot of gacha games, but probably Genshin is the main culprit that leads to other gachas doing this. Like, I feel like you can't name like a bigger gacha that actually, maybe FGO or whoever that came before that, but those are not super big in US, right? This is like US specifically, right? But yeah, this could be also that doesn't mean that they won't sue the other companies, right? This is maybe just the first step in what they are doing. They're trying to like investigate more into this. Amazon Prime in trouble? Wow. Under the terms of settlement, which must first be approved by a federal judge, Cognosphere will pay a 20 million fine and make the following changes to Genshin Impact. Children under 16 will not be allowed to purchase loot boxes without parents' consent. This should always be the case, right? Yeah, this should always be the case. All loot boxes available for purchase with virtual currency will also be made available for direct purchase using real money. Okay? So that means you can buy the gacha pools using real money. Instead of going to the shop, you convert to Genesis Crystals. Genesis Crystals convert 1-to-1 to Primo Gems. Primo Gems used to buy pools. Used to buy tickets. So literally like 3 layers, right? You can just uncheck that in your account in Amazon. I'm not sure how that works, right? Loot box odds and exchange rates for multi-tiered virtual currency will be accurately disclosed and not misrepresented. Any personal information collected from players under the age of 13 will be deleted unless permission to keep the data is obtained from parents. All COPPA regulations, including its notice and consent requirements, will be complied with. Okay. So Genshin Impact is a popular free-to-play anime-style game designed for older teens and adults. Okay, while we believe of FTC's allegations are inaccurate, we agreed to this settlement because we value the trust of our community and share a commitment to transparency for our players. Under the agreement, we will introduce a new age gate and parental consent protections for children and young teens and increase our in-game disclosures around virtual currency and rewards for players in the US in the coming months. Specifically for the United States of America. Very interesting. So, yeah, it seems like that is the case. Genshin Impact is actually paying 20 million fine. Now, a lot of people here seems to say that, you know, it's the parents, not the government. There was no deception, it's a gacha. Someone at FTC lost their 50-50. The risks are clearly outlined on the rolling menu. Seems more like a parenting issue than anything else. It literally tells you the rates, everyone knows the chances are slims. The kids weren't deceived, their parents were just never taught them basic reading comprehension. Most kids probably never read, right? They just go and pull. They just be like, gacha, pull, pull. Yep. Of course they never read the rates, right? Why would they read the rates? Only applied for the US region? I guess so, I'm not too sure, right? It seems like that's what is being mentioned. But this drama is definitely something that is kind of a double-edged sword, right? I do think that some companies might look at this and be like, okay, should we try to implement a different gacha system altogether? Or how should we do it, right? Because it is going to be one thing to consider. So a lot of these things, definitely they need to slowly improve upon, right? The odds are explained in the game. At 180 rolls, you are guaranteed your character. If you spend hundreds of dollars with little chance of winning, is also wrong because you spend hundreds of dollars to guarantee winning. The odds are in plain text. Sue everything since it's all just chaos. No one tell them about Pokemon cards. Blaming the game but not the parents for monitoring their child. What kind of parents give a child access to their banking details? The parents are clearly at fault. The game never asks for money, it's your choice. Sadly, this is true. I used to think like this as well, but there's enough bad parents out there to the point that this opinion don't matter anymore, right? Sadly, that's the case. There's a lot of bad parents out there that just give their children their you know, credit card or whatever, or debit card. That's just how it works, right? Most of Genshin players are kids at heart. I don't know if they investigated and this is true. The US school doesn't teach math, they teach woke, because woke is important. Alright? Some excuse it with kids stealing, but here I'm wondering how the hell the parents don't notice off stuff on their balance. Does bank never call? This might depend on the country or bank. I literally have to approve transactions through my bank's app when purchasing online. Yeah, that's what I feel like as well, right? I'm not sure how it works over there. There are bad parents still. Yeah, the thing is there's too many bad parents. There's too many of them to the point that it just becomes normalized that most people just expect the government to do something about it. And also government wants to do something about it because most government probably wants you to have more kids as well, right? It's like a to and fro kind of thing. So definitely that's just how it is.